Friday night means high school boys basketball. DCTV Sports is on the air with the Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us. Big thank you going out to our sponsor tonight, Bob Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. You can check out their great selection of new and used vehicles on their lot in person or check them out anytime online at drivebobayersville.com. As you can see, we are live at the hangar in Ayersville as we've got a GMC matchup this evening as the Pilots at 5-13 overall, 1-4 in conference play. We'll try and get back on the winning track, snapping a 3-game losing skid as they welcome the Antwerp Archers. The Archers have had 20-plus wins each of the last 3 seasons. This year, it is more of a rebuilding year, especially with some key injuries to some key players as they enter tonight's contest at 4-15 overall, still searching for their first win in the GMC at 0-5. They bring a tough losing skid into the hangar tonight. 6 games since their last victory. Again, I had a chance to stop out to a pilot practice and talk with head coach Logan Wolfram. Our player profile will be senior. Just kind of a jack of all trades. He does a little bit of garbage work. He's clearly a tough defender, and he's just muscle when needed underneath the basket. Loden Clark is going to be our player profile as we still have a couple of minutes left to go in the JV contest here. Speaking of just a couple left on the regular season schedule for both these teams as the sectionals and district brackets are going to be announced on Sunday by the OHSAA. Both these teams have a pretty good idea right now where they may be playing, but with Ayersville only 1 win right now in conference play and Antwerp still winless, there's only 1 game that separates these 2 teams as far as their overall record is concerned. So whoever wins tonight, this game will have an impact on their playoff schedule. Nobody wants to have to travel any farther than necessary. So again, while you've got a couple of sub-500 teams getting set to go after each other this evening, still plenty to play for. 1:26 left to go in this JV contest. We can tell you we will be getting set for broadcasts next week as the girls have already had their assignments for the postseason set. Those have been out since Tuesday. And our next broadcast after tonight will be next Thursday, and it will be at the Dog Pound as Defiance will be hosting an sectional opener. And then we'll wait and see. At this point in time of the season, you're playing for the right to wear the uniform one more time. But we're not going to look too far ahead. We've got what promises to be a good matchup here this evening. As I mentioned, I had a chance to stop out at an Ayersville practice earlier this week. First up, we will talk to head coach Logan Wolfram. A season of almosts for his squad. Again, sitting at 5-13 overall, 1-4 in conference play. Our player profile again will be the senior Loden Clark. So don't you go anywhere. We're back with more of the Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobayersville.com.
Welcome back, the hangar. We are here again, DCTV Sports on a Friday night as the Pilots will be welcoming Antwerp. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us. Also thanking our pregame sponsor. It is Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac, located on Clinton Street in downtown Defiance. Check out their great selection of new and quality used vehicles in person or online at drivebobayersville.com. Being joined right now by Coach Wolfram. You have been a busy man.
Yep.
I was going to say, you've had the better part of this week off. Part of, I guess you could say, the benefit of playing Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
In some cases, it's been Friday, Saturday, Monday.
Yep.
What have you taken time to maybe recoup, rehab, and focus on since you haven't had a game earlier this week? This will be your first one.
Yep, exactly. So past couple of weeks, we played Friday, Saturday, like you said, Friday, Saturday, Monday. So getting the guys in here, typically we're starting to have a little bit easier practices Monday, Tuesday, getting our legs back under us. and get prepared for Antwerp to come in here tonight on Friday. So we're hopefully having a great week of practice here and go get a win on Friday.
You and I have talked about this over the past probably 3 to 4 weeks, and the term you have used, I know it's not one that coaches want to use, almost.
Yep.
This team has been so close.
Yep.
Almost.
Yep.
And then fill in the blank. This stretch here.
Yep.
This failure on a defensive stop there. This missed screen there.
Yep.
Almost has meant a lot of things to this team.
Yep.
How close have you closed that gap?
Yeah, we're getting closer. Like you said, almost still is turning into losses. So we got to cut out the almost. And I think we're close. Every coach in the country says they want to be playing the best basketball at the end of the season. I think we're really close to that. And if we can get a great win here Friday against a good Antwerp team, get a win tomorrow, Saturday against Stryker, going into the end of the season, playing our best basketball, I think we can do something in the tournament. So that's what we're working towards.
Our player profile, Loden Clark, senior, he's coming up in just a couple minutes, basically said the same thing. And we use the cliche, but it holds true in everybody's case. No matter what your record, it's not how you start. It's how you finish. The beauty of high school basketball is, no matter what your record, everybody gets a postseason game.
Yep.
What you do with it is up to you.
Yep.
How close is this team? You want to be peaking here in about the next, 2 to 3 weeks?
Yep, that's exactly it. I think you can see the guys behind us right here. We're having a really good practice, a really intense practice. So the kids are coming every day to work and get better. And that's the tough thing when you're having some stretches that we're having to. The kids could just drop off. They could. We're losing. They could say, let's try to get to baseball season. But these kids are coming in every day to work their tails off to get to that point to make a little bit of run in the postseason. So I think we're right there, and I think we're playing the best basketball that we can.
All right, time for the scout. Let's go ahead and break down Antwerp. Again, it starts with Zane McMichael, their point guard. He's averaging almost 20 per game. He's had to pick up the slack since Lichty went down. Again, a knee injury in the first, I think, 4 or 5 games, which has really changed the complexion of this team. I don't want to say stop him, you stop the entire squad, but it starts with him. What's the defensive game plan?
Yeah, it definitely starts with Zane. He is a great player. He's a great kid. And he's going to be ready to play and come at us. He's really, really good at getting downhill, but he also has a really pure shot as well. So if we leave him open, he can hit it. But he's really good at really aggressive with the ball as well. So obviously number one focus is stop him, see if we can contain him a little bit better. We're not going to completely stop him. He's a great player. But they have varsity basketball guys all over the court too. So it's not like we can just leave other guys. We're going to have to play really solid defense all night and come into the game ready to go.
They also have a pretty good inside threat in Wyckoff. Again, he averages almost 10. He's pulling down nearly 7 boards, and he gets a lot of offense off of garbage. How key is boxing out tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big one because he's a big body and he's really physical. And as you can see with our team, we're not the biggest team out there. So we're going to have to do some things defensively against him when he gets the ball and then really find him when the shot goes up. So we have the guys that have the physicality to push him around, but not the size. So it's going to be a tough one.
We've talked multiple times about tempo, but there is a difference between tempo and rhythm. You can want a slow tempo, but still play in rhythm. You can want a fast tempo and still play in rhythm. Or you can get a tempo, but not be in rhythm.
Right.
What's the key for this team to stay in rhythm?
Yeah, I think for us is I think we want to find a happy medium of that slow to high tempo. I think we want to pick up the tempo a little bit more than we have against Tenor or Pettysville like we did this past weekend. So we'll try to pick up the tempo, try to get up and down a little bit more, but still be pretty efficient on the offensive end. And then obviously we got to get stops, so it all starts defensively.
All right, so you heard it right there. Stops and efficiency.
Yep.
Get those two, and hopefully we'll be talking to you in the postgame. Best of luck to you.
Yep, thanks, Brett.
Coach Wolfram joining us on the pregame. We're going to take a quick timeout. Our player profile is the senior. He tells me last year he was listed at 5'11", this year 6 foot, and he claims this year's roster is accurate. We'll talk to senior Loden Clark in just a couple of minutes. Back right after this. You're watching the Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show on DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Discover affordable transfer
Estill
opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Welcome back. DCTV Sports is at the hangar one more time this season. The boys taking center stage tonight as they get set to take on Antwerp. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us. Also a big thank you going out to our pregame sponsor, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance. Stop on out, check out their great selection of new and used vehicles. Broken in, not broken down on their lot, or the weather's a little too cold, you don't want to dodge the icicles, you can check them out online at drivebobestill.com. A man that drives in style no matter where he goes is our player profile. Now, last year, the roster listed you at 5'11". This year, it lists you at 6 foot. So I asked senior Loden Clark, which roster is the most accurate?
I'd have to say this year.
Of course, get the stretch just a little bit more out of it here. As you can tell, Loden's hit the weight room. He did so well before our interview today. Multi-sport athlete, football, basketball, also participate in track. Let's rewind before we preview. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Last season into this season. Walk us through what you were doing, anything in particular to make yourself a better player.
So last year, particularly, I focused more on the weight room because my sophomore year, I really found an interest in weightlifting. So last year we had a weightlifting class, right, at school. So I found something that best helped me is I would lift during school, and then after school or after practice, I would lift again. And that, I mean, I was tired after, but I could see a difference.
So how do you balance that out? Because I know, obviously, if you're trying to gain weight versus just doing maintenance lifting, weight training is different. So how did you balance 2 weight room shifts a day?
Well, first off, it starts with eating a good breakfast. Mm-hmm. I mean, most important meal of the day, and it just helps me get through the day. And then I'd have weightlifting class like 3rd or 4th period, and then we'd have lunch 5th period, and then I would eat a good lunch, and then we'd have practice or something, and then I would lift again.
So how'd you break that down? Was maybe the morning workout upper body, the afternoon workout lower body, or did you do total body conditioning, just go a little bit lighter, knowing that you were going to be doubling up?
I would skip leg days sometime because...
Okay, he's being honest. Go ahead.
Football practice was a little rough, I'm not going to lie. But then once I got in the basketball season, I started hitting the legs harder 2 times a week at least. And then last year I didn't take creatine, right, pre-workout. Okay. Mm-hmm. But this year I started taking it, and it made a world's difference in how big I got.
So how much weight did you put on, good weight, from last season to this year?
I put on probably 15 pounds of muscle at least.
Okay. Now, does your body type hold it? I know some guys will say if they stop, they drop immediately. Others will say I'm lifting to try and basically lose weight or move fat into muscle. What's your body, what's your metabolism like?
My metabolism, I would say, is good. I've never really been into that category of where I'm getting bigger. I've always been about the same, or I've gotten more defined, I would say.
Sure. So let's talk about basketball season this year. What were the coaching staff telling you coming out of, I know it was a tough football season. You didn't get a whole lot of break in between seasons, but what did the coaching staff tell you they wanted your role to be this season?
They said that, like, we had Dane and Jeremiah, of course, and they would be the scorers, right? And they told me that I needed to be good at defense and good at rebounding and just be physical in the paint.
So you're a multi-sport athlete, football, basketball. What are your events for track?
Last year, I think it did 100, 4x2, 400, and then 4x4.
Wow. So what's your recovery time during a track meet? Because that's a lot of events, bud.
Honestly, I don't even know.
You just go when it's time,
I just go when it's time.
Now, I might have pegged him for being more of a field event, maybe discus or shot put, but you're on the track.
Oh, I'm on the track.
Got deceptive speed then, right?
I'd like to think so.
So let's talk about where this group is right now, because there's still about 4, maybe 5 games left in the basketball season, and before you know it, districts are going to be here. I know the record isn't what you want it to be, but there's an old phrase, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. What's this group's mindset right now?
Well, in our past 2 games, I think our defense has played excellent. Mm-hmm. I mean, we held a Jack Leppelmeyer to, 9 points or 12? One of the best players we'll see all season. And going into halftime, it was 17-7. We just can't score. We try to get downhill and just nothing works. We got to find a way to score, and if we can score, we're going to be scary.
So how much better can this team still get in the next month?
I think we can win out this season, and then we can make a run in the playoffs.
It's one game at a time, though, right? I hear you guys talk about that all the time. That most important game will be the next one on the schedule, right, which is Antwerp.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about post-high school. You're a senior this year, so in a few months he's going to be styling in the cap and gown, strutting across the stage, diploma in hand. What's the future going to hold for Loden Clark?
I want to go to college. Doesn't really matter yet.
Okay. Any particular area of study or major?
Either business or teaching. Both of those, I think, fit into my schedule.
So how'd you get interested in teaching?
Well, my aunt thought that it would be a good idea because as a senior, there's only one other senior basically on the team. Mm-hmm. And as I've gotten older, all of my friends, all of the senior kids have dropped all the sports. So I've kind of had to focus on making friends with the younger kids. And my aunt thought that it would be a good idea because I'm better with younger kids than I am with older ones. That I should be a teacher.
Should be like an elementary school teacher, get them when they're really young. Do you see yourself staying involved in sports in some way, shape, or form?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Maybe a coach?
I think so.
Goal to come back here, or do you want to spread your legs? Do you care where you go?
I honestly don't care where I go. Whatever opportunity comes up.
Okay. We're not going to graduate him just yet. He's still got the basketball season, of course, the spring to go. Best of luck to you tonight and the rest of the way. Loden Clark, our player profile. Don't you go anywhere. We're back with more right after this. You're watching the pregame brought to you by Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac on DCTV Sports.
Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobayersville.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
DCTV Sports welcoming you back to the hangar in Ayersville as we are getting set for a GMC matchup as we close in on the regular season finale for both these two teams. And then, of course, on Sunday, the Ohio High School Athletic Association will be setting the brackets for the postseason. Both these teams still not quite sure where they will be because, well, with one win between the two of them in conference play, and again, only one win separating the two of them between their overall records, the winner tonight will have an inside track for a slightly better postseason seed and probably a lesser bus ride to have to make. So still something on the line here. As the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues, it's time now for our keys to the game. Brought to you by Northwest State Community College. Your key to great career opportunities begins with a great career education at Northwest State. Visit northweststate.edu or give them a call at 419-267-1320 today. For our keys, let's start with the visiting Antwerp Archers. 4-15 overall, 0-5 in the GMC. And again, in talking with head coach Doug Billman, this is not the type of season that they are used to. Last 3 seasons, 20-plus wins, but they graduated their top 2 scorers from a season ago. Last season, they were 21-3 and 6-1 in conference play, and they had a key injury to Aiden Leasty, one of their better scorers in the 4th game of the season. So they have been playing a number of underclassmen. So with that said, they don't want to run and gun. Keep the salsa mild. Now, what he told me was they will run if they have the numbers, but more important, to be in rhythm rather than have a fast tempo. And if it means scoring in the mid to upper 40s, they feel that that's still enough for them to win the ball game. Secondly, make them play at both ends, and that kind of harkens back or piggybacks off of that first key. You can't have wasted possessions, but when you do get into the half court, you also have to move the basketball. And he said, especially with some of these underclassmen, the ball tends to stick a little bit. Whether they're seeing a defense that they're not accustomed to or a matchup that gives them problems, they tend to hold on to the ball. And what happens? You get out of rhythm offensively, and also it just gives the defense an extra chance to catch a breather. On the flip side, for the Ayersville Pilots, again, just the opposite. Bring it to a boil. Coach Logan Wolfram wants a fast start. They have had some hiccups throughout the course of this season, whether it just be a couple minutes here or a couple minutes spread over 2 or 3 different quarters. And the next thing you know, the complexion of the game has changed as well as the score. So what he wants is to keep that tempo early. Not to say, again, you get out of rhythm, but he wants to put the pressure on and jack up the score as early as possible, a fast start. And then, number 2, 1 goal, 1 focus. Everybody has to be on the same page. This is both offensively and defensively. If you've got one player, even one step out of position, there's where things break down. Everybody needs to know where they need to be and also in relation to the rest of their teammates when it comes to spacing on the court. Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Northwest State Community College. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company. You're watching the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show on DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Back at the hangar, we are now under 4 minutes before we tip this one off. GMC matchup on a Friday night as the host Ayersville Panthers welcoming the Antwerp Archers. Let's go ahead and give you your starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, baker-schindler.com. First for the visiting Archers of Antwerp, 4-15 overall, 0-5 in the GMC, still looking for their first conference win of the season. They're running out of opportunities. At the point, it is their alpha, Zane McMichael. Again, McMichael stands in at 6 foot. He is a junior. He is averaging just an eyelash under 20 points per ball game at 19.7. Pulls down nearly 3 boards and dishes out 1.5 assists per ball game. At the off guard, it will be Hampton Rogie. Rogie, a 6'4 junior, highest basketball IQ on the team, according to Coach Doug Billman. Both he and McMichael are the alphas on the squad. Rogie averaging 5 points and nearly 6 rebounds per game. At your swing, Taven Scholl. Scholl, a 6-foot senior, 4.5 points, just over 3 boards per contest. Drew Eakin will be your forward. Again, Eakin, a 6-foot junior, best defender on the roster. He's going to draw Justin Peak, but pretty much Jeremiah Peak, but pretty much everybody is in an Archer uniform. Eakin averaging 3 and 3. And then in the middle, he's a size at just a sophomore, but 6'4", Keegan Gray Wyckoff. Just under 10 points at 9.8 per game and 6 rebounds per contest. On the flip side, for the Ayersville Pilots at 5-13 overall, 1-4 in the GMC, it will be the usual suspects. At the point, it will be Owen Lloyd. Again, Lloyd getting healthy after that basically season-opening injury during the football campaign. He got hurt in the season opener and didn't play again. Getting his legs back underneath him, he's ready. The 5'10 junior, Lloyd, enters tonight's contest averaging 3 points and 2 rebounds per ball game. At the off guard, Dylan Dunn. This is a young man that the coaching staff are desperate to get some consistency and become that third scorer. He's got it in him. We saw him drop 18 against Fairview in this very gymnasium a few weeks ago. The 5'11 junior, averaging 6 points and 3 boards per contest. At the swing, it's Mr. Everything, the 6'2 sophomore, Jeremiah Peak. Peak, the team's leading scorer at just under 16 at 15.7 per ball game. He's also pulling down 4 boards and dishing out 1.5 assists per contest. At the small forward, it will be Jackson Stambaugh, the 5'10 sophomore. Stambaugh averaging 2 points and just under 2 rebounds per game. And then in the middle, it's the young freshman phenom. He doesn't know how good he is just yet, but the rest of the conference is going to find out over the next 4 years because he is laying it down. Dane Ewers, the 6'2 freshman, team's second leading scorer at 13.8 points per game, team's leading rebounder at just over 6.5. And he also leads the team in assists with 2.5 per contest. Those are your starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company. Warm-ups are finished. Balls are in the racks. Buzzer sounds. 8 minutes put up on the scoreboard clock. We are getting set for tip-off. Both teams lining up at their respective ends of the court. The colors have been unfurled at the northeast corner of the hangar. And a light crowd still arriving, maybe somewhat late here this evening, as they are getting set for varsity basketball. Student body in good showing here this evening, coming out in force. As we get set for the playing of our national anthem, it is brought to you by the Defiance County Veterans Office. The Defiance County Veterans Office, proud to support local veterans and their families, connecting them with resources available to them. To learn more or request more information, log on to defiance-county.com/veterans office or give them a call at 419-782-6861. And the national anthem in the books. Our thanks going out to our underwriter, the Defiance County Veterans Office. Again, if you are a veteran or the family member of a veteran and would like to learn more or request more information, log on to defiance-county.com/veterans office or give them a call at 419-782-6861. The men in stripes this evening, our officiating crew, and it's an experienced one. Jerry Hatcher, Randall Price, and Zach Grosjean. As the student body, we're seeing it from the far end of the hangar from one of our camera operators, but they're lining up to form that tunnel that welcomes the starters. And, of course, the T-shirts being thrown out. Spirit Squad being introduced. And now to the starting lineups. Again, taking a look at how these two teams got here. Somebody's going to snap a tough losing streak here tonight. Tenora, their last game was at Pettisville, and they dropped a very low-scoring contest, 36-26. As a matter of fact, you have to go back to January 24th against Hicksville. Last time the Pilots won, 61-27, so they're on a 3-game skid. On the flip side, again, they're not used to this in Antwerp, but they're on a 6-game skid. Have to go all the way back to January 13th, a 67-55 victory versus Hilltop. That was on the road, their last win. Since then, they've dropped a couple of single-digit losses, including home versus Edgerton. Very low-scoring game at Lincoln View. And as they dim the lights, I will get mine ready to continue to let you know what their schedule has been. There we go. Their last game just a few days ago, last weekend, February 1st, it was at Montpelier, and they got crushed, 76-45. So they're trying to get back on the winning track, trying to do so and better their postseason playoff seed. Both these teams still have something riding on tonight's contest. Lights are down, as you can see, the auxiliary gym with those bleachers pulled out. That is where the students sit. The last of the Pilot starters, Dan Ewers being introduced. We get set for basketball. There you take a look. Ayersville in their home whites with those powder blue numbers and lettering. The thin stripes down the jersey tops and the shorts. Archers in their traveling royal blues with the white lettering and numerals. It'll be Ewers in the center circle for Ayersville. It will be Eakin for Antwerp. Ball is in the air, and Ewers quickly off his feet. Pilots win the tip. And again, out in, we're looking at a soft man. The shot from Ewers goes off the side of the backboard. They'll kick it out. Dunn for three, misses everything. Ewers, though, well, second, even third time's a charm. And Ayersville draws first blood. On the right side, Scholl on the drive, cut off in the middle of the paint. They're going to go down low to Gray Wyckoff. Going to try and muscle peek down. Nice spin move. Wow. Big man showing some nifty footwork, and we're tied at 2. Overplaying. Scholl with the steal, coast to coast. Misses the bunny. He got short-stepped coming in on the basket, and I think he felt the defense coming quicker than it was, and he's talking to himself as he heads to the other end to play defense. This looks like a 1-3-1 that's sagging into the paint right now for Antwerp as Ewers cut off in the low blocks. Lloyd will back it out. Up top, spotting up for three. It's a bit off to the left. Dunn can't find the range. We have a foul underneath against Stambaugh. His first team foul, number 1. Our player profile, Loden Clark, immediately off the bench and checking in for Dylan Dunn. Clark, more of a defensive specialist, used to body up and provide some muscle on the court. As they're going to trap at half court. Antwerp gets it across the timeline. Eakin on the drive. Nobody picks him up, and he doesn't stop until he finishes with the right hand. Archers with their first lead of the night by a basket. And again, Antwerp back in a, I believe it looks like a 1-3-1, although they are shadowing. This might be more of a boxing one. Peak, he's got a man face guarding him everywhere he goes, and they may mix it up each trip down the court. Nice crossover on the dribble drive. McMichael has it knocked out of bounds. And Clark's time on the court proves to be short-lived. So your starting 5 back on the court again here for Ayersville. Lloyd, Dunn, Peak, Stambaugh, and Ewers. Michael in between the circles. Will swing it left side to Rogie. A lot of movement away from the basketball. A little bit of dribble penetration. McMichael on the drive, leans in. He's fouled as he goes up strong, and that's going to be 2 quick ones on Stambaugh. And Logan Wolfram is not happy. I'm not sure if it's with the call or with Stambaugh's decision to foul once he was beat. But he's coming out, and this time it's going to be for more than spot minutes. As McMichael at the stripe. Good looking stroke, drains his first free throw. McMichael, a 72% free throw shooter. Coach Billman told me he wants to play at the next level as this one rattles in and out. Gray Wyckoff, though, with the garbage putback. They end up making it the equivalent of a 3-point play, and the Archers up by 5, 7-2. Right now, I'm looking at what I thought was a 1-3-1, but Peak is drawing a defender to face guard him pretty much everywhere he's going on the court. And with a one and done at the other end, I'm not sure if that ball was stripped or an ill-advised jump pass by Rogie, but here come the Pilots. Lloyd in the near corner has picked up his dribble. Dunn, catch and shoots. Got it! Dylan Dunn, that's what they need more of as he drains a Premier Bank 3-pointer. Much needed for the Pilots. And they lose. Gray Wyckoff down low. The foul will come on the floor. He got his man sealed, and this one's going to be called against Jeremiah Peak, his first team foul, number 2. Rogie will inbound on the baseline. Lobbing it into Wyckoff. A little high for him, but he tracks it down. Antwerp will set up their half-court offense. They're going to run a few different looks. They do have some sets, but primarily they run a continuity offense with some dribble drive. A lot of screening, a lot of movement without the basketball. And as I say that, a 3 put up by Rogie, and we have a whistle underneath, and I believe this is going against Wyckoff. Keegan Gray Wyckoff with his first team foul, number 1. Not quite halfway through the first quarter. Pilots with a chance to tie it or take the lead with a 3 this trip down the court. Lloyd, he wants the lead. He gave it to him! Owen Lloyd with another Premier Bank 3. And Owen Lloyd has nearly hit his per-game average already in the first quarter. As Gray Wyckoff down low, and they don't have a matchup for him. He's just too strong. Clark surrenders the basketball. Good movement right now in the early going by the Pilots. Clark down low, kicks it back out. Peak for 3. Off the front of the iron, ball being tapped around. One of two Archers stepped out of bounds. I believe it's Rogie. Substitution, Scholl. Is he coming out? Nope, it's going to be Eakin. As checking in, Weston Roanhouse. On the drive, Ewers finishes with the left hand. Dane Ewers with his second basket of the evening. And the Pilots up by a point, 10-9. McMichael will back it out. And looks like we got a soft man-to-man right now. Or do we? Driving, nice contact, good footwork by Lloyd defensively. Scholl wanted a screen, reverses, drives baseline. Oh, explodes and can't get the teardrop to fall. Did everything but finish. Dunn almost drug his pivot foot. Skip past Lloyd. This is a mismatch if he wanted to take the big man, but he didn't. Instead, Ewers drives down the left side of the lane. Can't quite bank it in. Wyckoff, good luck getting it away from him. Crossover dribble. McMichael tries to go baseline and a little too handsy by Owen Lloyd. Rare show of emotion by the junior. He thought it was clean. Official didn't see it as such. He's picked up his first. Team foul number 4. Deuce is wild. 2:22 left to go in the first quarter. McMichael working against Lloyd. Run a little weave action. Oh, great baseline cut. Great find as Roanhouse finds Taven Scholl, and 4 of 5 starters now in the scoring column for Antwerp as they retake the lead by a point. Dunn unchecked, rattles home another 3. Dylan Dunn with a Premier Bank three-pointer, yourpremierbank.com. Marks the 3rd of the early game for the Pilots as they're up by 2. Wyckoff, nice drop step in the middle of the paint, and he gets that low. Good luck finishing. At the other end, Lloyd with a 3. Ewers taps it to himself, leans in, gets swatted, but he's fouled. Rogie the guilty party for the Archers. It's going to send Ewers to the stripe. Ewers, just a 57% free throw shooter, but he connects on his first. Taking his time. Deep knee bend, releases. Got them both. 15-13, Pilots up by a pair. Good tempo, but also good rhythm for both teams offensively, and there's a turnover. Just plain thrown away. Ewers on the drive. It's going to be a blocking foul against Taven Scholl.
And we're foul number 10, Taven Scholl, his first, team's third.
Peak will be the trigger man on the baseline. $1:17 left to go in the quarter. Ethan Miles is checked in for the Pilots. Peak tried to sell the foul, left it short. Ewers taps it to himself. Does he want to drive in? He does not. He kicks it out. And the Pilots will be well served to reset their offense here. Owen Lloyd looks over at Coach Wolfram. Gets the signal that he wants with under a minute left to go in the quarter. Peak flips it back out to Ewers on the drive. Bodies hit the deck. That'll be a charge. Dane Ewers with his first.
Offensive foul number 10, Dane Ewers, his first, team's fifth.
Both teams have done a good job of taking care of the basketball here in the first 8 minutes. A half-court trap, and they lose the man at the deep end. Wide open. Weston Roanhouse couldn't be more open. And he ties the game up at 15 all. Well, with 22 seconds left to go in the first quarter, it looks like the Pilots want to work for the final shot. Ewers crosses over, working against Rogie, but he will back it out. Little catch in between the circles, 8 seconds. They got to get their offense moving. Ewers, a collision, no call, puts up an 18-footer. Halfway down, it spits out. Ball being tapped around. Lloyd won't get it off in time. And that is the end of the first quarter. Deadlocked. Ayersville 15. Antwerp 15. We'll take a 60-second timeout. This Mark Moats Ford timeout. Serving the Defiance community since 1916 on County Road 424 and online at markmoatsford.com. Quarter number 2 when we return on DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Back at the hangar, second 8 minutes put up on the scoreboard clock. Tied at 15-15, Antwerp and Ayersville. Antwerp trying to go to their big man, Gray Wyckoff down low. We had a foul against Keith and Miles as a baseline drive, nothing doing. 3 blue jerseys go up. Second opportunity, nothing doing, and this time Ewers tracks it down. Quick shot, off the mark. Rebound ripped down by Eakin. Both teams well above their scoring average through the first quarter at 15 points each. We'll see if this tempo keeps up, as we've got a foul on the drive, and Keith and Miles has just picked up 2 quickies. McMichael will head back to the stripe. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Again, a 72% free throw shooter. Drains the first. McMichael averages nearly 20 a game, and you can see why with that look and stroke. Splits the nylon. He's 3 out of 4, and it's a 2-point lead for the Archers. Miles hands it off. We've got a 3-man weave in between the circles. Nice find by Lloyd to the far corner. Ewers is going to take the big man. Oh, look at this. Miles for 3. Long off the heel of the iron. Lloyd with a strong two-handed board. Peak tried to really thread the needle in the low blocks to Miles. It's deflected and out of bounds. Peak will head to the baseline to inbound. Ewers sizing up the defense. Antwerp has been pretty much in the jersey of Jeremiah Peak all night long. He's being face guarded wherever he goes. Right now the assignment is Eakins. He gets just a little bit of daylight, but had to rush the shot, and it's 1 and done. Eakin up top. Long 3, nothing doing for Rogie. Another offensive board, and Scholl's got his second basket of the night. Largest lead for the Archers, just a couple of baskets at 19-15. Peak, oh, great find to Miles, and a little bit of contact. He couldn't finish through it. Here comes Antwerp. McMichael stutter steps. Now attacks, kicks it back out. Nice dish to Scholl for 3. That's not going to find anything, and he's going to hear about it from the Ayersville student body. Under 6 left to go in the first half. Pilots still looking for their first points of any kind here in the second quarter. We're knotted at 15 all at the end of 8. Ewers on the drive. Nice spin move. Leans in. That's finishing through contact. Dane Ewers with 8 of the Pilots' 17. Wyckoff was posting up. Immediately draws 4 white jerseys, and he put the ball on the floor and he's stripped. Lloyd, peek, crosses over. Down the middle of the paint. Nice drive and dish. Dunn! Dylan Dunn staying hot with his 3rd Premier Bank three-pointer of the night, and just like that, the Pilots back on top. Dunn coming into tonight's contest, averaging 6 points per ball game and shooting 31% from beyond the arc. As McMichael airmails one, he tried to get an equalizer at the other end, and he's hearing about it. That's the 2nd air ball of the night, launched up by the Archers. Well, Antwerp had outscored Ayersville 4-0 until the last 2 offensive series for the Pilots. A nice drive by Ewers and a 3-ball by Dunn. Just like that, it's a 1-point lead. Ewers on the drive. Draws the contact. This is going to go against Hampton Rogie, his 2nd. Team foul number 1 here in the second quarter. And it will put Ewers, a 57% free throw shooter, back at the stripe. He's perfect tonight, 3 for 3. Rogie out. Roanhouse in for Antwerp. And you take a good look at the young freshman. Well, part of him. There you go. Second is on the way. Rattles it home. He's having himself an evening. And he's got 10 of his team's 19. Coming out and pressing, and great effort, great hustle that time by Dylan Dunn. Pilots will switch personnel in this 3-2. They're bringing Lloyd up top now and bringing Peak down low in the far corner. Wyckoff being pushed off the blocks, but that's a size matchup. Nice drive, but he's a little hard off the square. Ewers wants to run. Crosses over, and we have an illegal screen. An illegal screen being called on Jackson Stambaugh, and that is his 3rd. And Logan Wolfram. Is he going to Miles? He's going to Clark. Miles has 2 of his own, so the foul's really adding up in a hurry here for Ayersville. Stambaugh understandably upset as he goes to the bench, but he'll be watching for the rest of this half. Pilots up by 3. Archers with a chance to cut into the deficit. They could tie it with a 3. Wyckoff. He's got Ewers on his hip. Nice job by Lloyd to drop down. So much contact, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Wave off the basket, and Wyckoff is hot. That's his 2nd. Now we'll see if Coach Doug Billman is going to sub out for his big center. He's calling a timeout, most likely to try and calm his big center down as well as substitute. We will take, it's a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here. With 3:44 left to go in the first half, a much slower-paced, lower-scoring second quarter than what we saw in the first 8 minutes when both teams put up 15 points apiece. At that rate, both teams were on pace easily to score 60, but things have slowed considerably down. And right now, the Pilots winning quarter number 2, 7 points to 4 for Antwerp. Well, they're going to keep Wyckoff in the game despite those 2 fouls. And again, looking to see what the defense is. Anybody going to follow Peak? No. So this is either a 3-2 or a 1-2-2. I'm waiting to see if when the ball drops below the free throw line on the rotation. This looks like a 1-2-2 right now. As Peak stops and pops from 18, nothing doing. Clark, great hustle, but he couldn't save it. And Wyckoff will now be subbed out with 2 fouls. So the Archers going with a much smaller lineup right now. Got several guys at 6 foot. I'm not sure you have anybody taller than that. Yeah. Across the board, pretty even for the Archers right now. Trying to cut into a 22-19 deficit. Almost turning it over. Into the near corner. Eakin thought about driving baseline. This zone seems to be giving him some trouble. Boy, that is a heat check. Bricks off the side of the iron by Roanhouse. Here comes Ewers. Lloyd for 3 in the corner. Yes! Another Premier Bank 3-pointer. He's got 2. Dunn has 3, and they're raining them from beyond the arc. Largest lead of the night for Ayersville at 25-19. Antwerp desperate for a basket. They've been on a long drought. The crossover. Scholl thought about it. Right now, Archer's showing some patience. You figure this would be the guy that would try and dribble drive or at least take the shot of McMichael. Instead, far corner 3 off the mark. Ewers with the weak side board. Dane slows it down but gets again good deep penetration. Man-man game. Peak with a nifty assist. And I'm looking over at Doug Billman to see if he wants a timeout. He's going to let him play on. A brilliant 2-man game between the freshman and the sophomore that last trip down. 27-19. Ayersville has exploded. 90 seconds left to go in the half. Daniel drives baseline, leaves it short. Archer's getting back. Ewers stripped. Boy, bodies flying everywhere, and it's out of bounds off of Ewers. Are they going to call him for a foul? They will. That's his second. 4th-team foul. Wyckoff checking back in, as is Rogie. Ewers will head to the bench. And Evan Wolfram seeing his first action of the night. Well, Logan Wolfram was not happy with Dane Ewers. He gave him an earful when he got to the bench. I don't think he liked that out-of-control last foul. Whistle away from the ball as Wyckoff is drawing, as you can imagine, a ton of white jerseys. And this one's going to go against Clark. That's the 5th-team foul. So Wyckoff will head to the stripe after an 8-point first quarter. Looking for his first score of any kind here in the second, and he's just got it. Wyckoff, not a great free throw shooter at 55%. Spins the ball in his hand, releases, and gets the friendly roll. He's 100% here. He will check out with 59 ticks left to go. That breaks a long dry spell for the Archers. They're back to within half a dozen. Some token pressure. Will they even pick up at half court? Not just man-to-man. And nobody does. Dunn recognizes it and can't get the roll. Oh, my goodness. It was a great read. He did everything but finish. McMichael has picked up his dribble. Low post Scholl. Wraparound pass. Left a bit short by Rogie. Follows. Still nothing doing. Boy, both teams with point-blank looks and unable to finish. And do we have a jump ball or a foul? This is going to be a foul on Eakin. Just an eyelash under 27 seconds left to go in the first half. Pilots up by half a dozen, and they are in no rush to bring it across the timeline. Lloyd, who's got 6 points, he's basically doubled up his average. And just an ill-advised pass. And what do we got here? Well, everybody talking it over, and wow, change of possession, change of possession. .7 seconds, all the way in the back court, and Peak's got to hustle. 6 behind the back, 3, step back 3, offensive foul. Peak pushing off, picks up his second, and with 2.8 seconds, Archers will inbound all the way at the other end of the hangar. If you are unimpeded, you've got enough time, and it won't be quite that far over. It'll be about 3/4 court. A chance to catch 2 dribbles and then get a shot off. We'll wait and see if Ayersville applies some pressure. They do get it in, picking up his dribble. This is a prayer at the buzzer. Banked in! Oh my goodness! Hampton Rogie, just before the buzzer sounds, drains about a 38-footer. Logan Wolfram still arguing what was the charge against Jeremiah Peak. But as both clubs head to their respective locker rooms, the wind back in the sails of Antwerp as they pull to within 3. Pilots 27, Archers 24. We'll take a quick timeout. We're back with your Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank. Everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Back at the hangar. They had their chuck-a-duck, and somebody actually nailed it. Couldn't get any better, right on the dot. So a winner. And they've got plenty going on here at the half as we got a young man shooting for prizes as we are at the intermission of tonight's broadcast. As Ayersville leading visiting Antwerp 27-24, but a late run, including about a 38, almost a 40-footer banked in at the half just before the buzzer by Hampton Rogie to close the gap for the Archers to pull to within 3. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us for our Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, celebrating 70 years of helping you achieve your dreams and securing your future. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon, or check them out online at midwestcommunity.org. Well, let's run down the scoring totals. And again, the 3-ball. How about this from a couple of guys who don't average a ton? Coach Logan Wolfram saying we've needed a consistent third scorer on this roster for several weeks. Well, right now they've got a couple. As Dane Ewers leading the charge right now for the Pilots. He's got 12 of his team's 27 points. The irony is, who hasn't scored tonight? Jeremiah Peak, the team's leading scorer, their talented sophomore guard averaging nearly 16 a game, has been shut out. But picking up the slack, point guard Owen Lloyd has drained a couple of threes, and off guard Dylan Dunn, who averages 6 a game, has 3 threes. He's got 9, so just 3 Pilots doing all the scoring, but right now it's good enough for a 3-point lead. On the flip side for the Archers, again, low scoring affair. We talked about Rogi's 3 being banked in just before the half ended. Nobody with more than 4 points, with one exception, and that is their big burly center, Keegan Gray Wyckoff. He had 8 of his 10 points in the first quarter. He did get into a little bit of foul trouble in the second quarter, but he leads his team with 10. After that, though, there is balance. 4 points for Taven Scholl, 3 points each for point guard Zane McMichael. Again, he's been held way under his average. He pours in nearly 20 a ball game. Hampton Rogie, we mentioned, hitting the 3 just before the buzzer, and David Eakin with 2. The only bench points of the entire ball game coming from the Archers' Weston Roanhouse, as he has 2. Pretty cleanly played ball game. Both teams still in single digits when it comes to turnovers. I just don't trust basically my on-the-fly stats in that category enough to even bring them to you, but I can tell you with certainty both teams are in single digits right now, despite the pace. And we've got a good one going right now. We'll see if the second half is even half as competitive as the first. If it is, we invite you to stick around. 27-24, Ayersville with the lead. We'll take a 2-minute break, 2-minute timeout. Back with more of the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union Halftime Show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
About 90 seconds before we resume play. We welcome you back to the hangar. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us tonight on DCTV Sports as we put a wrap on our Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. Ayersville 27 visiting Antwerp 24. Ayersville came out and got a fair amount of shots in. Antwerp came out with about 90 seconds left and really didn't shoot much, if at all. My guess is Coach Billman electing to use the extra time in the locker room for instructional purposes and maybe chewing a little bit of tail, preaching a little fire. As it stands, 3-point ball game. Each team with one player in double figures, leading everybody. Pilots freshman center Dane Ewers, he's got a dozen, including 4 free throws. Hot on his heels, Keegan Gray-Wyckoff, I believe, is he a freshman? He's a sophomore center, and he is a tough cover. He's got 10 points, including 2 for 2 from the free throw line. So we'll wait and see. It's a battle of attrition. Fouls could be an issue. Right now, the only player in legit foul trouble is Ayersville's Jackson Stambaugh. He has 3, but Keithan Miles has 2. Dane Ewers also has a couple, as does Jeremiah Peak, who picked up that charge, as the official said he was pushing off on a long jumper attempt just before the end of the half. On the flip side for the Archers, Rogie with 2 and Wyckoff with a pair. Pilots have the ball. They will be moving from right to left on your screen to open up the second half, enjoying a 3-point lead. Dunn, who averages 6, has 9. Tries to lob it down low to Ewers, and it's off of his fingertips. First turnover of the second half, and it's courtesy of the Pilots. Chance to cut into the deficit or possibly tie it with a 3. Skip pass, good ball movement. And back out up top. Scholl with 2. Don't recall him being much of a threat from beyond the arc, but they post him up here. Back to the far corner. Eakin on the drive releases it. Oh, nice carry through, and 2 off the square. Hampton Rogie with a nifty move. Pulls the Archers to within a point. Lloyd feeling it. He's already doubled up his game average. He's got 6. Ewers on the drive, cut off by Wyckoff. Shot altered. And big number 44 comes away with the board as well. McMichael hasn't really looked to shoot or drive. As a matter of fact, he just hasn't been terribly aggressive offensively so far in this ball game, and he averages almost 20. This is going to be a heat check. Long 3 by Rogie, nothing doing. Long board, and he goes into the stands. Archers maintain possession. Not for long. It's a turnover. Here comes Peak looking for his first points of the evening, and it's going to be a charge. He's just picked up his 3rd. And he can't believe it. And I don't know if we can get a frontal shot of Ayersville coach Logan Wolfram, but he is absolutely livid. I think at the call, but maybe also at his player for trying to push 1 against 3. And there you see it. He's starting to turn 8 different shades of red. Good feed down low. Wyckoff draws a triple team. Did he walk or do we have a foul? Take your pick. It's going to be Lloyd. That's his 2nd. Fouls continuing to mount up here. Lloyd with 2, Peak with 3, Stambaugh with 3, Ewers with 2, Miles with 2. Wyckoff's going to take it right at the freshman. And we got another whistle. Lloyd now with 3. Wyckoff to the stripe. Not a great free throw shooter at 56%, but he drains his first. He is a perfect 5 for 5 so far tonight. Second is on the way. No, I don't believe in the broadcaster's jinx. He misses. Tied at 27. And it looks like it's going to get a little chippy. Ewers on the drive, cut off by Scholl. Lloyd for three. Yes! His third three of the night. And Premier Bank is getting some mileage out of their three-point sponsorship. Low blocks Wyckoff, double teamed. They'll reverse it. Three on the way, top of the key. All net by Rogie. Don't know who the president of Premier Bank is, but we should just give him a headset tonight. Ewers on the drive, finishes with the left hand. He's got 15. It's a 2-point Pilot lead. And all of a sudden the action heating up. Eakin thought about a three. He's going to drive. He's stripped. Here comes Peak. 2-on-1. Stambaugh. A little hard off the square. Eakin slows it down. Open for three. Right wing. Bucket! Zane McMichael with another Premier Bank three. And we've got a timeout. Do we have somebody hurt? I think an ankle might have been twisted, and Eakin is limping to the Antwerp bench. Well, both teams started about the first 60 to 90 seconds a little slow, and all of a sudden, both have kicked it into overdrive. Peak looking for his first points of the night. Give it to him! Another Premier Bank three. Seventh three-pointer of the ball game so far for the Pilots. And they're up by a deuce. Good reversal. Scholl on the drive, cut off. Tries to thread the needle, and that's going to be a turnover. Long three by Peak. Hits the deck. Airmailed. We had a player go into the stands. It was Stambaugh, but he appears to be okay. And right now the concern is on the Antwerp bench for David Eakin, as the trainer's going to go take a look at him. 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. 2-point ball game. Good reversal. Again, McMichael. He's got 6 to his credit. They try and go down the low to Wyckoff, and from his knees, that's going to be a foul. But that is gutty defense by Owen Lloyd with 3 fouls to go up against the big man, and it pays off. And now Wyckoff with 3. Dunn, 9 points on 3 balls himself. Peak, now Lloyd. They're going to run Peak off a baseline screen. Spots up for 3. Rushed it a bit. Lloyd had it. Knocks it out of bounds off McMichael. No, they're going to say off of Lloyd. Now, will the officials get together to check it out? I don't know that anybody else was really in position to see it. From our vantage point, it looked, yes, they are. They're going to change the call. Give them credit. Ladies and gentlemen, give them credit. That's the right thing to do if you're not sure. And from our vantage point, it looks like the correct call. And the officials talking right now, a lot of contact prior to the inbounds. Ewers spins, 2-step drop. Boy, he covers a ton of ground. Not quite, but a borderline Euro step. He's got 16, and it's a 4-point Pilot lead. McMichael drives, cut off by Peak. Into the corner, 1 dribble. Boy, nice stop and pop jumper. Hampton Rogie. He's got 7 in the second half, 10 on the night. Ewers on the drive. That's a charge. And now the Pilots freshman center with 3 fouls.
Offensive foul, number 10, Dave Ewers, his third team score.
Team foul number 4. Just under 3 minutes left to go in the quarter. Well, just 1 win between both teams in the Green Meadows Conference. 5-13 the overall record for Ayersville, 4-15 for Antwerp. It's a 3 on the way, but the winner of this one has the inside track. This will affect the postseason seeds for the first round of sectionals. As a deflection, not quite a steal. Ewers Johnny on the spot, throws up a prayer, can't get it to fall. McMichael, 360 spin move, rips through a pair of defenders, nothing doing, and I think Wyckoff's going to be guilty of coming over the back. We'll wait and see. No, it's going against Ewers. That's his 4th. Oh my goodness. Logan Wolfram, hands behind his back, but you can see the reaction on his face. He is absolutely incredulous. And now it's starting to sink in a bit more. And here comes Loden Clark. They've got to get Ewers off the floor. So mark 2:11 in the third quarter down as Ewers, the leading scorer for the Pilots with 16, will have to sit with 4 fouls. And the crowd letting the officials know they disagree with the call. And in the meantime, Scholl at the charity stripe as he buries his first. Taven Scholl, just a 22% free throw shooter. That is just his 3rd made free throw of the season. Check that 4. And he just picked up 5. 37-37. Peak wide open, 3 on the way, nothing doing. Boy, he had an open look. That's a dangerous pass up the court. Somehow Eakin got it. He'll kick it back out, and that is a lame duck off the fingertips of Scholl. Here comes Stambaugh, comes to a jump stop. Peak from about 23, short. Ball tapped around. Dangerous outlet, and that's going to be a turnover. 3rd of the quarter. And what do we have here? A reach-in foul from behind by Eakin? Yes. His 2nd, team foul number 2. Just over 90 seconds left to go in the quarter. Will Ayersville work for the final shot, or will they put their offense into motion? Peak, does he want to drive? Keeping his dribble. Now he's picked it up. Dunn will back it out. He's picked up his dribble. So is Stambaugh. Nobody with more than a couple. Clark, not a threat from beyond the arc. Ball movement as we come up on 60 seconds. Dunn, open for 3. Got a good look, couldn't get it. Now we'll see if Antwerp decides to take the air out of the ball, and it looks like they will. Boy, both teams have spent a ton of energy here in the third quarter. Michael, not sure where he's going to play his college ball. I've been told Ohio Northern's interested. I think Trine came up in the conversation I had with Coach Doug Billman. We won't graduate him too soon. Both clubs catching a quick breather. 20 seconds, still playing catch. Usually at about 10 seconds is when you want to put your offense into motion. Instead, they're going to run a screen off the baseline. Far corner, McMichael for 3, it's short. Clark with the board. If they hustle, they can get a look. Lloyd crossing half court. Stambaugh for 3. Is he fouled? Did I hear a whistle? He was. They're pointing at the free throw line. Who's it against? Weston Roanhouse. Can't believe it. He fouls Jackson Stambaugh at the buzzer on a 3-point attempt. Lonely spot at the free throw right now, and Stambaugh shakes his head as he misses his first. He'll get 2 more. Stambaugh, a 56% free throw shooter. Around the world it kicks out, and that look on his face says it all. Can't believe it. This for a 1-point lead. On the way. Got it. We have come to the end of 3. Nothing decided. Ayersville 38, Antwerp 37. 60-second Mark Motes Ford timeout. Back with quarter number 4 right after this on DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Motes Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Motes Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmotesford.com.
Final 8 minutes put up on the scoreboard clock. We welcome you back to the hangar. Host Ayersville 38, visiting Antwerp 37. Archers have the ball. They almost turned it over, and I'm looking at a 1-3-1 right now being employed by Ayersville. Dane Ewers, the freshman center for Ayersville, with 4 fouls. They thought about putting him in. Instead, Loden Clark stays on the floor. Foul trouble for a number of players on both rosters. McMichael, he's got 6 points. He averages nearly 20. The Pilots have kept him in check for the most part tonight. Wyckoff, he's got 3. Back out to McMichael. On the drive, stops, goes in between a triple team. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Lloyd was there. Peak was there. And so was Dylan Dunn. That's probably the best thing that could have happened to the Pilots. That's just his first. But it is free throws for McMichael. Man, he has a sweet-looking jumper. Or not jumper, but free throw. Just a good-looking stroke. He's a 72% free throw shooter. He's looking to give his team a 1-point lead. He can't. Lloyd with the board. Lloyd with 9 on the night. 3, that ball might have been partially blocked, and Wyckoff just muscles Clark out of the way. 5 white jerseys get back in transition. And the Archers look like they'll be patient offensively. And just as I say that, McMichael, nice drive, nice dish, nice pump fake. Great movement by Scholl without the basketball. And it's should be a 3-point lead, should it not? They've got 40-38 up on the board. Dunn for 3. Yes! Dylan Dunn, number 3, we see you. Lights out, his 4th three-pointer of the game. And the Pilots back on top by 1. Coming up on 6 minutes left to go. Wyckoff triple teamed. Again, I think by Clark's reaction, it might be him. It is. It's going to be his second. And here comes Ewers at 6'11", with 4 fouls. The freshman center back on the court. McMichael. Nice bounce pass. Great move. Tough first step by Rogie. And after draining a 3 just at the half, before the half, for his first points of the evening, he's now got 12. Ewers, 4 fouls. Wyckoff with 3. Ewers got there but got a little too far underneath the basket. 42-41, here comes McMichael. Jump stop, goes up strong, gets the feathery touch. He's got 9, and it's a 3-point lead for Antwerp. And as expected, Dunn now being face guarded. And that's going to be a tough turnover. First of the fourth quarter for either team. Here come the Archers. Scholl, keeping a waist-high dribble, will surrender it to McMichael. Been really impressed with his floor leadership tonight. Three on the left wing. Wyckoff with the board, goes up strong, that's a charge, and now he's got 4. Wyckoff has picked up 4. He has not scored in the second half yet. And now both team centers playing Russian roulette, and no, they're not. Doug Billman is going to sub out for his big man. A lot of time left in this game. That will mean a much smaller defender on Dane Ewers, as Wyckoff has a bloody nose. Coach Zartman stuffing cotton up one nostril, saying, "You're good to go." Ewers, Peak, both beyond the arc. They'll switch. Ewers with 4 comes to a jump stop, finds Lloyd. Can't get the roll. And it's out of bounds. It rolls down the leg of Rogie, and the Pilots draw a break. Nip and tuck. The inbounds comes to Stambaugh. Ewers, step back 3. It's short. It comes out to Peak. Peak with just 3 points tonight. On the drive, he's stripped, and he's going to be fouled by Scholl. Scholl thought he had all ball. He's pleading his case, but a change in call is not forthcoming. Peak to the stripe. 82% free throw shooter at the stripe, trying to cut into a 3-point deficit. Spins the ball in his hand. Got the first. This to pull to within 1. Peak averages 16 a game. That's just his 4th. Looking for number 5. Splits the nylon. 44-43. McMichael will hand it off. Coming up on 4 minutes left to go in the contest. They get it back to him. He's sizing up Stambaugh, but doesn't want to take him. This is who you want to have the ball if you're Antwerp. He'll back it out. He is one cool customer. They're keeping their offense in motion. McMichael drives baseline. Pump fake, got Lloyd in the air, and Lloyd has just picked up his 4th. That was a heady play by Zane McMichael. McMichael back to the stripe for 2. 72% free throw shooter, connects on his first. This to make it a 3-point lead. Second is on the way, rattles it home. 46-43. Under 4 minutes. Welcome to crunch time. 1 possession game. Boy, Dunn thought about it. They're still face guarding Peak. He comes off a curl screen. He'll spot up from 22 feet out, just short. And it's out of bounds. Now they got the man they wanted the basketball. It was on line. It was about a foot short. And Doug Billman wants a timeout, realizing every possession is critical right now. A full timeout will break with them. A Mark Motes Ford timeout. County Road 424 in Defiance and online at markmotesford.com. Don't you go anywhere. The only thing this circus is missing is a tent. 3:29 left to go. We'll have it for you when we come back on DCTV Sports. 3:29 left to go in the ball game. The scene at the hangar. Big GMC matchup. And right now, visiting Antwerp has come from behind to take a 3-point lead over host Ayersville, 46-43. Archers have the ball. Right now, your foul situation, and it's dicey for multiple players on both squads. For Ayersville, Lloyd with 4, Peak with 3, Stambaugh with 3, Ewers with 4. For the Archers, Wyckoff with 4, and then a deuce apiece for Rogie and Scholl. And that's just turned over. First of the fourth quarter, and a chance to cut into the deficit for the Pilots. Dunn, well, he thought about it, but a nice job by McMichael to come out and identify. Peak draws a pair of blue jerseys. They force him out. Ewers with 4. He doesn't care. He goes into Wyckoff. All kinds of contact. No call either way, and the shot goes off the mark. Refs now letting him play. Under 3 left to go. McMichael keeping a waist-tie dribble. Ewers out on him. Oh, he's trapped, and that ball almost thrown away. Johnny on the spot. On the weak side is Scholl. And right now, the Archers are going to force Ayersville to come out and try and guard them. The top half of the zone is trying to trap on the wings. And Antwerp in no rush to run their offense. They're going to milk clock. Ewers went for the steal, almost got it. Back out up top, Scholl. Got to be careful. If you pick up your dribble out there, half court becomes an extra defender. They've milked almost 30 seconds off the clock so far. McMichael in trouble, tied up by Lloyd. Jump ball, and the arrow points the Pilots' way. You talk about a roll of the dice by Owen Lloyd with 4 fouls. He gets him tied up, and it pays off. Must score possession here for the Pilots, and Logan Wolfram knows it. He'll call a timeout. Seeing if this is a full. It is. We'll break with them. Mark Motes Ford, serving the Defiance community since 1916. County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmotesford.com. 30-second break. Back with the final $1.59 on DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
One minute and 59 seconds left to go in this ball game. Archers 46. Pilots 43. And there you take a look at the series history. And that was last season, February 2nd. Antwerp won it by the score we have right now, 46-43. I get the feeling that won't be the final tally here tonight. Buzzer sounds. Coach Logan Wolfram getting his guys on the same page. A must-score possession for the Pilots. You don't necessarily need a 3 here, but you need a good look. Dunn, 3 threes in the first half. He's been held scoreless so far here in the second. They're running Ewers. They lob it baseline to him. Leans in, a little strong off the glass. Again, he got a little deep behind the backboard. And now the Pilots are going to have to foul. No, 30-second timeout being called by Coach Doug Billman. They got the look they wanted, but Ewers got a little deep on the baseline. So now the question is, if you are Ayersville and you don't get a steal off the inbounds, how much time can you afford to let tick off the clock before you foul? And as I speak, Evan Wolfram is about to check into the game. He was called back to the huddle quickly. And not going to be coming into the ball game. So your Pilot 5, Wolf, Peak, Stambaugh, Dunn, and Ewers. Your Archer 5, inbounding will be Rogie, McMichael. Wyckoff, the big man with 4 fouls, is in. So does Ewers for Ayersville. along with Eakin and Scholl. As the ball knocked out of bounds, it will remain with Antwerp. Long pass to Wyckoff. The big man will dribble. Oh, he almost got away with a step. And now you got to think about fouling if you are Ayersville. Antwerp, whoa, did he dribble it off of his foot? Yes, he did! Peak came out and got into the jersey of Scholl, and that's just the second turnover of the fourth quarter for Antwerp, but it comes at a crucial time. Peak. I thought he might size up his defender. He'll take a three. Got it! His second of the game. Just 8 points on the night. A Premier Bank three that has just tied this game at 46. Just over a minute left to go. McMichael, ice water in his veins. Coach Billman wants a timeout. We will keep it here. Best game between both these teams all season long. And again, they may be 5-13 and 4-15 respectively, but both coaches talked about it with me during the pregame. Postseason seedings will be affected by who wins this one tonight. They're not just playing for pride. Well, Antwerp will inbound in front of their own bench. Just 3 players have scored in the second half for the Archers. McMichael, Rogie, and Scholl. Rogie, you could say, with the hot hand. He's got 12. McMichael is 3 for 4 from the charity stripe. He's got 8, 11 total. Both teams with fouls to give before they send each other to the charity stripe. And Ayersville's going to hop back in this 1-3-1. Ewers with 4 fouls. Boy, that was risky. Under a minute left to go. On the drive, off the wing, Rogie surrenders it. McMichael surveying the defense. Surrenders the basketball in the corner, skip pass. Driving into the paint, fading away. That's going to be a travel. Yes. Third turnover of the quarter, and it's a costly one for Antwerp. It was actually a foul on Roanhouse, his second. Now does Ayersville want to work for the final shot? Does Evan Wolfram want to call a timeout? Is he signaling the play in from the bench? They can work for the final shot. We'll wait and see if he draws anything up. They're clearing out. Looking to see Lloyd up top, Peak and Ewers in both corners. And now Evan Wolfram will call a timeout. Well, you got the KG veteran and Doug Billman. Logan Wolfram has been around the block himself, but this becomes a matter of chess and who plays it better. If you are Ayersville, you're clearly setting up a first and probably a second option. I'm not sure that you're looking at a set play or something within your offense with still 18 and 6/10 seconds left. Although coming off an inbounds, you could run a set play. On the flip side, if you're Doug Billman, your team has a couple fouls to give, provided you don't foul in the act of shooting. This is where, as a coach, you implore, you expect your guys to play smart basketball. Don't give the opposition the mistake that wins the game. Make them earn it. The inbound will come on the far side. Archers won't put anybody on the inbounder Lloyd. Into the backcourt, Dunn. Usually you want to put your offense in motion at about 10 seconds. Peak with 12. Done in between the circles. He's picked up his dribble. He's in all kinds of trouble, and a heads-up play by the bench to call timeout. No, they're going to call a foul. All right, McMichael knew that he had one to give. That's just his first. And now with 7.2 seconds left, if you're Ayersville, you all but have to run a set play here off this inbounds. Full timeout. We will keep it here. What a ball game. And right now, we're not sure regulation will hold it. 7 and 2/10 seconds left. Ayersville 46. Not Archbold, the Archers of Antwerp 46. Ayersville led by Dane Ewers with 16. On the flip side, 12 points for Hampton Rogie, 10 of those coming here in the second half. Again, Antwerp with a foul to give, but the last thing you want to do is hack a pilot in the act of shooting. You've got to figure Jeremiah Peak would be option number one. Ewers with 4 fouls, how aggressive can he be? And let's not forget, Dunn has been very, very sharp from beyond the arc. 4 3-pointers tonight. Ewers will be the inbounder. Let's see who plays chess better. The inbounds coming from Ewers. They get it to Lloyd. Right back to Ewers. He'll drive. Cut off. He slips. Was he fouled? Yes, but it will be on the floor with 3.5 seconds left. 15 foul, as this one is going against Scholl. It's his third. That was team foul number 5. So it will send Ewers to the line with 3.5 seconds left. He's 3 for 4 tonight. 57% on the season. Ice water in his veins. Freshman, do you even know? He's sending out the signals here. He's got one more to take. Eyes it, skies it, buys it. Timeout right now by Ayersville. And Scholl is still beside himself with 3.5 seconds left. A 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Depending on where you get the ball inbound, there's enough time clearly for 2, possibly 3 dribbles, but then you've got to get a shot off. And Coach Billman trying to draw up, I'm going to guess some type of flat play, but his team has got to go the length of the court. What a ball game. We'll see if Ayersville puts anybody on the ball. Right now, you've got to figure McMichael and Rogie would be your first 2 options. Ewers is standing deep. They're going to send a couple back. Crowd on their feet. Here we go, 3.5 seconds. Up the court. Eakin, timeout with 1.5 seconds left. You talk about a roll of the dice by Coach Billman. If you don't get that ball across the timeline as quick as they did, this game is over. Now you've got a chance to set up from multiple positions on the court. This has just been a joy to watch. What a ball game. Well, as I look up to double check to make sure, the scoreboard shows 3 fouls right now for Ayersville, so they've got one to give. My goodness. Well, fitting we've got a game like this just 1 week away from the postseason. The OHSAA is going to announce the postseason brackets on Sunday. Both teams have one regular season game left, and then it's a brand new season. Everybody's 0-0. You don't need a 3 if you are the Archers, but we'll see what they set up. Wyckoff coming up. He's undoubtedly going to set a screen for somebody. I'm looking for McMichael and Rogie. They're going to flash Rogie to the corner. Nothing doing. McMichael comes out. He's going to have to launch from half court. Game over. What a contest. And what a defensive job by Stambaugh to deflect the inbound. Pilots 48. Archers 46. In a game that had postseason feel to it, a tip of the cap to both teams. With the win, Ayersville now 6-13 overall, 2-4 in the GMC. And the Archers, coming off 3 straight seasons of 20-plus wins, they're not used to this as they fall to 4-16 and remain winless in the Green Meadows Conference at 0-6. We will take a 2-minute break, 2-minute timeout. We're back with your South 66 Lanes postgame show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Back at the hangar, we're standing after this one. It deserves a standing ovation. We're also waiting for Coach Logan Wolfram, and he may bring a player or two with him. As don't tell anybody that this one didn't matter, as the Pilots had a 27-24 lead at the end of the first 2 quarters, going into the locker room at the half. They had a 38-37 lead after the end of 3. They fell behind by as many as 3, but they hold on. And how about this? 2 free throws with 3.5 seconds left by freshman center Dane Ewers spell the difference tonight as he finishes with 19 points, none bigger than clutch free throws. As with the win, 48-46, Ayersville now 6-13 overall, 2-4 in the GMC. At the same time, tip your cap to the Archers. Antwerp thought they had their first conference win of the season, denied on the road as they fall to 4-16 and 0-6. The South 66 Lanes postgame show is now underway. Let's go ahead and run down our unofficial scoring totals for you. And leading all players tonight, the freshman Dane Ewers. He picked up his 4th foul with a little over 2 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. He had to sit. He came in the fourth quarter, and to his credit, played smart. Did not get himself in any awkward positions that might have even given the officials an opportunity to foul him out, and he finishes to lead all scorers with 19. Double digits tonight. Dylan Dunn. We see you, number 3. 4 3-pointers tonight. He averages 6. He doubles his average tonight. He finishes with 12. Owen Lloyd, the junior point guard. He averages 3 per ball game. He's got 3 3-pointers tonight. He finishes with 9. 8 points for Jeremiah Peak on a night where he has half of his per-game average, and 1 for Jackson Stambaugh. That's it. All 5 starters doing all the damage. So we'll make sure Tristan brings up mic number 3. Come on over on this side, gentlemen. We'll have you. We've got 1 for each of you. We got 3 tonight. Coach, right there. There you go. You got it. Throw those on. Owen, throw yours on. As they do so, we'll run down the scoring totals for the Archers. Again, a couple guys in double figures, including Hampton Rogie. He banks in a 3. He was scoreless just before the half. He scores 10 in the second half. He finishes with a dozen, but it's more about who didn't score in the second half. Gray Wyckoff had 10 and was just beastly. He finishes with 10. Not a single point over quarters 3 and 4. Rounding out the scoring, Zane McMichael with 8, Taven Scholl with 8, a deuce for Drew Eakin, and 2 bench points for Weston Roanhouse. Well, if you haven't noticed, we've got some powder blue up here. Did their feet even touch the court as they came up to do the post game here? Gentlemen, congratulations. I'm sure it's already been 100 just walking back from the locker room. I'll make it 101. This is a softball question, but how good does this one feel?
Really good. It feels great.
Coach, how about you?
Feels really good. I just told the guys in the locker room, you can tell Antwerp and us are both struggling a little bit, but that was a GMC battle, and that was a huge game for seeding going into the tournament.
You and I talked about it. You had a couple of teams with just 1 win in the conference. I think, what was it, 7 between the 2 of you?
Yep.
But it had a lot on the line. Yep. This had meaning for the postseason seeding.
Yep, it definitely did, and our guys definitely came ready to play and showed out. These 2 guys played tremendously. Owen hit some shots. Dane played really well, but Owen just brings us so much on the defensive end. And once he hits a couple shots, that definitely helps.
Yeah, he's feeling good all of a sudden now, isn't he? Yeah. Whatever you had for breakfast this morning, have it every game day, right? Yeah. What did you have, just out of curiosity?
I had some toaster waffles.
All right, toaster waffles, that's it. My guess is there'll be several bags from local grocery stores on your front door tomorrow morning. Let's start with – I do want to start with offense, but, Owen, I want to start with one play in particular in the fourth quarter that sticks out, and I'll remember it for quite some time. You're hovering on 4 fouls.
Yeah.
And yet you roll the dice and get a jump ball. Yeah. Were you confident that you were going to get a jump ball instead of foul number 5?
I knew I was going to get it.
Coach, did you think that was going to happen?
Just depends. Owen's a feisty player. I have all the trust in him on the defensive end, on the offensive end. So if he thinks he can get it, he can go get it.
Look, it was lights out from beyond the arc tonight. Again, Owen, I'm looking at you here. You've got 9 points, all from distance. Dylan Dunn, I don't know who's wearing number 3's jersey tonight, but my guess is you want the same thing on a regular basis now. Lights out tonight. He's got 12, all from distance. You and I, Coach, have been talking about this for the better part of 2 months. Yep. You've been asking, begging for a consistent 3rd or even 4th scorer. Right. You got it tonight.
Yeah.
Can you keep it up?
Yeah, I'll keep it up.
All right. I'm asking you, you've got all the confidence in the world in these guys.
Oh, yeah.
You want them to keep shooting, correct?
Yep. I mean, I've had the conversation, and these guys can attest to that plenty of times, saying I don't think I've ever told you guys not to shoot the basketball. Yeah. Because if you're a varsity basketball player, you have to have confidence in your abilities. So we try to instill that confidence in them. It may take a couple of extra games to get it, but we saw tonight that Dylan showed up really well.
Yes.
Owen played great.
On a night when Jeremiah was getting face guarded almost everywhere on the court, he finishes with half. Somebody had to step up. The other starters did.
Yep, that's exactly it. When teams are going to face guard or do that type of stuff to Jeremiah, we have to have our other guys step up, and they definitely did that tonight.
All right, number 10. Now, I'm going to go ahead and call this guy out on the post game because I was rebounding a little bit. I was fooling around with Loden Clark at shoot around. Was it your ball or was it Loden's that clocked me blindside? Whose was it? Be honest.
It was mine.
I knew it!
No, it hit another ball and it hit you in the head.
It did. I mean, I saw stars for a few seconds. Luckily, these didn't break or I would have been flying blind tonight.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your performance tonight. You got in foul trouble as well. Matter of fact, I have it marked down here, 2-11 in the third quarter. You had to sit. What were the coaches telling you before you came back in?
They were just telling me I got to play off 2 feet and be smart when I'm on defense. They moved me up top in the zone so I can stay out of foul trouble with the big guys down low.
You beat me to it. They moved you up top. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not aggressive. As a matter of fact, your length up top can be very disruptive. But what's the difference between playing at the top of that 1-3-1 or the bottom or the wing?
I like playing the bottom more. Top, you were running around a lot trying to trap and get steals. But I definitely like getting my steals.
Listen to him. He's saying, I didn't want to have to run too much, though.
Sounds like we got some conditioning to do this week.
But in all seriousness, can you talk about how smart he played? Because they put him in positions. They went at him knowing that he had 4 fouls. How smart was he not to pick up that 5th?
Yeah, I mean, again, it goes back to the trust that we have with Dane. There's been games this year where he's had 3 fouls in the first half, and we'll continue to play him. I know he's a freshman, but he's going to have to learn how to play with fouls and because he is so aggressive on the defensive end. So when we put him back in there in the 4th, our coaches kind of looked at me and was wondering if it was too early, but I had the trust in him to go out there and be smart and hopefully not get another one.
All right, number 10, you had a dozen at the half. You finished with 19. None bigger than with 3.5 seconds left, and you stepped to the line, and you looked like you were given directions before you even took your first foul shot. Walk us through what your routine is, and in particularly, you just looked like you had ice water in your veins. Did you have any nerves when you set foot on the line?
I definitely got the chills right before, but Jeremiah talked me knock these in. We get one stop and we win this game. And after I knocked the first one in, I knew the second one was going right in.
You got to like that kind of confidence, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yep, definitely.
All right, I'm going to ask both you guys this before I ask Coach. The same question goes to both of you. Nolan, I'll start with you. Coach has used one word with me when I've done a lot of the pregame interviews with him so far this season about how this one sums up. And he said, almost. You've almost been there easily another half a dozen ball games, if not more. The beauty of high school basketball is it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Everybody's going to be 0-0 in about another week. Owen, where's this team's mindset? What can you do for a postseason run?
I think we're right there, and I think we can compete with the best of them. And, I think we can go far in the tournament and compete.
Dane, how about you?
I like we're all playing good right now. We're all hitting our shots, gaining our confidence. It's a little late in the season, but it's at the right time.
Hey, this had a postseason feel to it, didn't it? I mean, this had a district or a sectional final feel to it. Mm-hmm. You like these kind of games, especially when you gut them out. What did this team learn about itself tonight?
Yeah, I mean, a younger team coming in to a game like this, a GMC game against a great team and a great coach, to get this one and to be down late in the fourth quarter and to not freak out or go foul or turn the ball over. I thought we were very, very composed those last 4 minutes. We executed what we wanted to do offensively and both defensively. And like I told you, need to be playing our best basketball at the end. So I think we're getting there. No rest for the weary. You're suiting up again in about 24 hours versus Stryker. Can you guys make it 2 in a row?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Boy, you need a second opinion on that one? Or? Coach, again, how much better can this team still get? Obviously, another day to practice is another day to improve. Yep. You have to go play tomorrow night, so what do you want to see out of these guys in 24 hours? Yeah, back-to-backs are tough, especially against 2 good teams. Stryker's been playing very well, just got their best player back probably 2-3 weeks ago. So they're playing high-level basketball right now. So it's going to be another game here at the hangar where it's going to feel like a tournament atmosphere. They're big, they're physical. So we're just going to have to come ready to grind it out and play hard. And I think these guys are up for it because we got the tournament coming around, and we're
going to be 20 games into it tomorrow, so we're ready to go.
All right, well, enjoy it at least for the next few hours, will you? Congratulations, winner.
Thank you.
Congratulations, winner.
Thank you.
I'll reach over,
Thanks,
and there we go. Congratulations to all three of you. We're going to take a quick timeout. Back to put a blue and white bow on our South 66 Lanes postgame show. Don't go anywhere. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Back at the hangar, putting the finishing touches on the South 66 Lanes postgame show as Ayersville hangs on in an absolute classic. 48-46 over Antwerp. They're now 6-13 overall, 2-4 in the GMC. Tip your cap to the Archers. This game could have gone either way tonight for one bounce here or one bounce there. The Archers fall to 4-16 and 0-6. Our next broadcast will be next Thursday night, as it will be the opening round of districts for the girls, as Defiance is home against, I believe it's Lima Senior. We will have that game for you. I believe it's a 7 o'clock tip-off. We'll be on the air with the Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show at 6:30. For our entire crew, again, doing more than yeoman's work, a big thank you going out to all of our sponsors for helping make the broadcast a possibility, and you, the fan, for tuning in. I'm Brent Balbinot saying so long. Final score tonight, Ayersville 48. Antwerp 46. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV Sports.